What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. Welcome to the charts. We've seen some interesting moves today, as usual. The market always shows us something interesting. So we'll get into the charts and dive in and see what's happening here, just to know what to expect and where we headed in the coming days, since we are gonna be coming into the new year. We should be expecting some interesting volatility over here from the market, and also from the traditional markets, and also in crypto. This all will be interesting, so let's just dive in. Before I get started, let me just set up the charts over here and take a look at Solana. We'll start off with Solana. I think Solana has done some interesting moves today. It did exactly as predicted. I was anticipating Solana to go down to the $7 zone, which we got so close to kissing that zone, only to bounce off. I was expecting it. If you watched my previous video on Solana, you would have seen that I was saying that projecting Solana to go down to this below the 8 point something, and then only to bounce off and possibly go up and retest that channel that we're talking about. So Solana, this is Solana on the monthly. We can see that the month isn't ending very well. We have one more day to the end of the month. And just looking at it, it looks very bearish. I don't know if it can reverse. Well, certainly it could, but this move took 1 month. We'll be able to reclaim it and start of January. Very nice. Going down to the daily, you can see this is what I was talking about a few days ago. That, was it yesterday or was it early on today? I think it was early on today. Yeah, it was earlier on today. I was saying I'm expecting Solana to spike down. Maybe we get a spike down below here, to the below the 8.3 zone. Then we get a spike up, possibly I was saying to the 11.3, I believe 11.135 or something like that. And Solana came up all the way to the 233 EMA on the hourly and kissed the top of this descending channel that it was in, trapping long traders, only to pull back down so hard, then make people believe it's going up, pull back down again, spike up, and now we're sort of leveling off. This may continue for a few days. It's a weekend. Last weekend wasn't so interesting, and plus we're going to be having bank holidays this coming week. This coming week will be slow until, I believe, until possibly the 3rd or the 4th. Let me just pull up the calendar over here. Our interesting week, the bank holiday will be till the 2nd. The banks will be coming back on the 3rd. The markets will be open on the 3rd. Full swing on the 3rd. On the 4th, we'll be having some very interesting moves. So I anticipate the moves to start on the 3rd, either for a pump and then a dump on the 4th, or the opposite. But because it's going to be a news play, we're having the FOMC meeting where they will be announcing the interest rates. I believe it's 8 times a year, 3 weeks after the federal funds rate is announced. It's a detailed record of the FOMC most recent meeting, providing in-depth insight into the economic and financial conditions that influence their vote on where to set interest rates. So if it's more hawkish than expected, is good for currency. So if it's good for currency, it's bad for the markets. That being said, we also will be having the JOLTS report, job openings, and the ISM manufacturing PMI report. The JOLTS report is released monthly. It's released late, but can impact the market because the jobs opening are a leading indicator of overall employment. So if employment is still good, the Fed will have to remain hawkish or even more hawkish depending on the numbers. and that will affect the market as a whole. More hawkish, tightening, interest rates increase and affects the markets. Now going back to Solana, what do I anticipate from Solana? Textbook TA would tell you, okay, Solana dropped. This was a V-shaped recovery. At the moment, we're above this level of resistance. Now it's turned into a support. We still have this other level. So if Solana is able to do this, well, we did this. Now, if we're able to come up here and reclaim this level of 10.18 as support, we'll still be having the resistance from the 233 EMA will be coming down so slightly, and we need to get over that and bounce off this to continue higher. Then we have the levels of resistance above, the 13.852. Coming into that level, you should know that it's a resistance level and you could be interested in going short at those levels. But what I see at immediate, in the immediate future, or I mean, close by, let's look at the levels. Let's pull up a fixed range volume profile. I like using this because you notice that price respects that. You could see that on the hourly, if we look at the hourly, we came to the 233, we came to the the top of the descending channel, and also it was the value area low, the 11.058. We wicked above it. So if you had these levels marked out, if you were following my videos for a while, you would know that I'm watching these. You would have them drawn out and you would just look at that reaction over there. And if you go on a smaller time frame, you could have, it was a very fast move. I won't say you could have, but there, rejection, strong rejection, that's your first sign. But if you entered on that, you would get stopped out probably. You would enter on the second rejection over here, you see on the bottom of this descending channel. And this third one over here almost tested. If you entered, maybe you would still be in the trade, possibly in getting into the red at the moment. But I believe that Solana still needs to go to the $5 to $7 range. Once I see Solana at that zone, then maybe I'll possibly look for a long, unless we reclaim the $13 or even start reclaiming the top of this channel or even the value area low. If we reclaim the value area low, then there's a good chance we're coming. If we can claim 11.133 as support, showing support that we can bounce off it, not just a wick, then we could come and see this zone of the $13 range. So that's a trading plan for Solana. And looking at it in a lower time frame, if we just take out the indicators and I'll show you the lower time frame, this looks like it's going up in a three-wave move. However, if it's an ABC, because the move is going up but volume is going down, that looks like a correction and not the impulse, not like how we came down. Now, taking a trend-based fib, if you take it from the low here to the top of this, wave A, wave B was short, wave C, if it's going to give us a 1-to-1 extension, could see this zone, the 12.193 or even the 14.186. But you can see in between them, we have a level of resistance at 13.824. So yeah, those are the levels to watch for now. This is a zone I could mark out on my chart just to keep an eye on for a wave C. It's a big zone, a wave C rejection possibly. Now looking at this entire move down, what can we make of it? What can we see? How many waves? What are we doing? Solana isn't doing what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum was holding a high, but Solana seems like, well, it seems very, very like this move down was very impulsive. This was a clear correction. This is a correction. This is an impulse. This is how an impulse looks like. And if you look at it from the November highs that we were here, you could say this was a 1, 2, and this was a 3. This entire range over here was possibly a 4, and we came for a 1. This was a 2 possibly, and now we're 3, and we're doing a 4th over here, and we're possibly going down in a 5th wave. This could be the first wave of the 5th. This is on the 4-hourly. Now, to measure out the length of the 5th, essentially it's the length of the 1. If I think it will go to 0 if I do it this way. This is an altcoin, so they move very volatile, and sometimes you need to, the wave 5 can't come to these levels. This would be Solana to 0 to negative. Let's dissect it on a smaller, and if I say this was the beginning, a 1, 2, so if I take this as a 1, to the top of 2, and Solana goes to just the 0.618, that will bring us to the $2 to $3 range. However, I have the $5 to $7 range. I'll trade it level to level. At the moment, I entered a short on Solana. Just to clarify that, I entered a short on the rejection over here that I saw on the 15-minute, or was it the hourly? Let's go here. I saw it starting to have some spiky behavior over here that I didn't like. Did I just lose my channel? Yeah, I lost my channel. I moved my channel away. Oh, let's go back. Let's try and get the channel back. So if the channel is here, you would notice that on the channel itself and the EMAs, there we go. There. So even on the smaller time frame, on the 15-minute time frame, you could enter on this rejection projecting a further down move. So that's where I entered. But just be in mind, we have moved on the smaller time frame. It looks very impulsive. The second move was a big move. We kind of failed to go above it. And now we're in the third move. So that's over here was a stopping volume candle. That's a good entry. That's a higher probable trade. Nothing is guaranteed. It doesn't mean you're going to win every trade, but it's a higher probable trade that you're getting a rejection at the bottom of previous support. And now it's turning into resistance. And on higher time frames, you're below the EMAs. You're below the 200 and 233. Let me look at that on the 4-hourly. What am I doing? Why am I getting it wrong? Anyhow, rejection. I saw a rejection, low on volume, on the move up. Volume is declining. That was my reasoning for entering that. And on the smaller time frame, you could see vector candles at the top, stopping volume candle. It's wicking up like it's stalling. So I took that trade with a stop loss at around $10, 10.05. Yeah, so that's for Solana. Targets to the downside remain the same. Targets to the upside, as I shown you, if we're gonna go there. The move up, even on smaller time frame, volume is dying out. Doesn't mean it can't move up on low volume. It can. We've seen on weekends we could move up. We could have crazy moves. On the other hand, another coin to look at was Quant. I entered on Quant because Quant was acting funny as well. When I say funny, I mean it was stalling. I entered on Quant over here because it was stalling. And on this candle, on the 15-minute, most probably my trade got stopped out over here with this spike up. However, I feel Quant has more downside to go. Like my stop loss was tight on Quant. Solana is still okay. Solana is in profit. Quant has been closed. Ren and Dent are still on. Dent coin. Let's finish Quant, then we'll get to Dent coin. Now Quant is in a good position also for a short. You can enter a short here if it can continue lower. This is not financial advice, but you are testing your daily open. So basically you're testing your daily previous previous day over here. This was the daily open over here at around 110, 114, and you're moving down again. So that's for quant. But look at that. That is an indication that market wants to reverse. I'm gonna take another stab on quant, because clearly I'm in a higher level now. It's in a higher price than I opened the first time. So I'll take my chances and see how far can I go on quant. There you go. I'm using my phone to place the trade while I am live. There, quant. I'm gonna place my stop loss. Let's go on the smaller time frame. Just above this high. So 111.08. Let me look at that. That will be, yeah, that's my stop loss. 111.1. That's my stop loss. 111.1 for quant. If it moves up, I can get stopped out. Now, if it moves up, how far do I project it to go? We'll take a look at that. Now, quant is moving up. There we go. Okay, now I'm set. Now, this move up is quite impulsive. EMAs are moving up. This is a risky trade. That's why I'm telling you it's a risky trade. But we are testing the daily open. So essentially that could be our resistance. We could pull down back. This is a level of quant where we bounced from today. It was a perfect long, but as you know, I posted that video on Solana. I was in a plane while I posted the video. I was literally in a flight, and I posted that Solana update. And quant earlier was at this level, and this was a good long position. This could have been, so if you have this level marked out, 101.51, next level is the 110, and then which we are at the moment. I don't have it marked out over here. And the next would be the 114, followed by the 121. For some reason, my levels have moved. I have a level of 120. Oh, okay, because this is a different chart of quant. Is it? No, it's a correct chart. I don't have that level, but the next level is the 121 zone for quant. Now I know my levels of resistance at the top where I can take trades. The 121 comes at the point of control over here. That's why I couldn't see it. I'll just mark it out now. 121.79 is the POC of this level. So quant, that's for quant. Levels to the downside is the 101. If we lose the 101, then we could easily come down to the $90 range. This is the next zone of interest over here, the 101. If you lose that, you're coming to this zone of liquidity, $99 to $94. Simple as that. If you lose that, then it's going to be very bad for quant, because I don't know where's the next support level. I need to go to another chart of quant, not the perpetual futures. The next zone on the daily, if you lose 99, I said, if you lose this level on the daily, you could see you have 94 to 78. This is the next zone of interest of liquidity. So just be aware of that for quant. On the daily, this candle doesn't look bearish anymore. It looks like a spike down, and we're recovering the entire move down that we had today. So this is like a spinning top. It may continue higher. It may continue higher. Now taking a fib extension levels for quant. We only have 3 waves at the moment. So these are my waves for quant. My wave A stops over here. My wave B pulled back slightly over here. My wave C came to the 1.618. Look how we are at the 1.618. This could be the end of wave C, the correction to the upside, and continue higher. So that is a corrective wave. Now, if I take a fib retracement and say this was the beginning of a certain wave down, and this was the one. The 2 comes down here. You can see that we retrace to the 0.786. We almost kissed the 0.886 and we got rejected. So that tells me I might be right. And this move up, I look at it as an A, B, and a C, or if it's a 1, 2, 3, then it could go higher. The fib retracement of the wave 1 shows me that the wave 2, this red candle that came down, this is on the hourly, on 15 minutes you'll see more candles, came down almost to the 0.5 fib, acceptable for a second or B wave. Markets are closed, we might see some crazy volatility. What I'm saying is that this move for quant down is impulsive. It could have been 1, 2, and this is a third wave, and you have some wave count over there finishing over here. Maybe this is a fourth wave retracing for the third wave that probably started over here at this peak to the low over here, and so far we've retraced to the 0.618. So that is not a fourth wave. Most probably it's either a second wave or something else. So yeah, that's for quant. Ren token, Ren USDT, I also took a trade on that. Ren USDT is still showing some weakness on the hourly, still stalling on the 50 EMA. If we're able to turn, that would be good for Ren. Even on the 15 minute, we are stalling at the 50 EMA. You can see how price is stalling. We might be in a correction now. We might do something like this and form some sort of a triangle, weekend, and then continue lower. On a triangle, you can't really tell how far can we spike up, but if I attach these two ends, I know that if we go up now, we could come up to the 0.62, which is far off from where I entered my trade. So I'm fine with that. My stop sign placed, my stop sign a small profit, because I'm greedy for these trades. I really want to stay in these trades. I want to make more money. Dent on the 15 minute is looking quite bullish. You can see that, but this is such a fast move. A lot of times when we have a fast move like this, it could be a false move. At the top, we had some sort of a spinning top over here. That usually could be a reversal, but I didn't get, and I got one candle that bearishly engulfed this candle, but we didn't follow through with this whole candle. So if we are able to follow through now, then it says this move up is over. Look at that. Look at that spike up in Dent. Doesn't look like it's wanting to move up. But these are altcoins. Very low volume, some of them that can make very drastic moves. My anticipation for Dent, I was looking at this move from the low to the high. As you can see, we came down, we retraced up to the 0.786 over here. So that could mean we could be going up, but we're not getting that momentum. We're not getting that move yet. We've been down for a while. Now from up here to the low of this move over here, you can see that Dent came to the 0.382 and got rejected. So we might have some more downside. Target to the downside, I have a target. I'm looking just to reclaim this entire pump of the upside, because as fast as it moved up, it may move down in the same speed. You can see that we moved up, we just spiked up to reclaim this whole dump, and we might do the same right now. That's for Dent, Ren USDT. Ren USDT doesn't look really good. This is on the 4 hourly, but this kind of pattern, when we're having overlaps, this is just like a descending wedge, a falling wedge, or a descending channel, which has high probability of breaking to the upside. And someone could say this is some sort of a bullish flag, but the flag is too long. But these kind of patterns usually can break to the upside. However, my stop is far away and in a small profit as well. That's why I'm anticipating further moves to the downside. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is not looking too good. On the 4-hourly, we're below the 50 EMA. On the 15-minute, we have reclaimed it. And we just spiked up and pulled back down. And now we're trying to go up. How far can we go for Bitcoin? I mean, Bitcoin, we were anticipating a rally at least to 18, 19K probably, maybe 17.3. But for some reason, Bitcoin isn't giving us that. At least to the POC over here at around 16.8 or even the 17K region. The 200 EMA is even lower now, so that's even worse for Bitcoin because we're going to have resistance very, very close by. Between 16.8, 16.9, Bitcoin will stall a bit. You could go on a scalp short over there and place a stop loss slightly higher above last week's high at around 1762, but depends on where Bitcoin stalls. At the moment, we're below the POC. We bounced off the value area low, which we have done so many times. We actually broke down today to the 16,300 zone, 16,320, and bounced off nicely. So that's a good indication for the bulls. But you can see the value area low has tested here twice. Here we broke down. Over here it was support. So over here we sort of broke down, but we have for the past since the 16th of December we weren't able to break down. It was good support since the 16th of December. So that's a good level if someone wants to go long. Like you take a long, put your stop loss slightly lower depending on your risk tolerance. We are at a level that we could go long, but market sentiment all in all is not that good. How is everybody in the room? How is everybody in the stream? Anyone taking any trades? Any interesting trades? Any coins? Anyone's looking at doing some crazy moves? And a way that I take trades, I decided on taking Ren or Dent and Ren. I was looking at my app and I was looking at Binance and I saw that they were making crazy moves like 30% gains on a day when the market was just going sideways or market was slightly pulling down. So that tells me that it's not really a sustainable move. It will eventually go down. So that's why I took the short. So that's a trick you could use. You could see what's moving opposite to the market when the market is just pumping and one coin is dumping terribly. Maybe you could go long, but when the markets are dumping and one coin is moving crazy, like the day that Dent did this spike, what was this? It made a 35% move on this day. Let's go on the daily and measure it out. Look at this. From here to up here, that's an 87% move in one day. That was one day, 87. That was on the 28th of December. And if you look at the heavy movers, the heavyweights like Bitcoin, on the 28th, what did Bitcoin do? I mean, Bitcoin went down to 16.4 and 16.7, $300 range, like barely moved. That's nothing for Bitcoin. $300 a day is nothing for Bitcoin. That's a 1%. And Bitcoin was going down. So it told me that this move is not sustainable. Now, if Bitcoin cannot close the daily above 16,631, then I think we have more downside. 15.8 is more or less a promise. And even lower maybe. Let me just check out Solana for a second. Look. How is it holding? Solana is trying to go up. We are below the channel. We are going to retest the channel, possibly go into it again. Then I'll get stopped out. And Quant, on the other hand, Ocean was another coin that was moving crazy in the past. Quant, Litecoin. Litecoin had a nice spike up. I'm telling you, this could have been an EMA over here that you could have taken a trade. Litecoin, 4 hourly. We're just stalling at the 50, but we're trying to go above the 50 on the 4 hourly, so just be careful with that. On the hourly, we're still above the 50. And on the 15 minute, we probably lost it already. On the 15 minute, this is what I always talk about. We're about to have a crossover. Stochastic RSI is at the lows, but we just had a crossover. It might move up. If you don't get a confirmed crossover, then I wouldn't advise that as a trade. But if you get a crossover on stochastic, MACD, we got a crossover earlier, but we were stalling, and now we're about to start expanding down. We could expand lower. I'm not telling you to do this trade, but this is how I sometimes take my trade, but I'm not taking this because I'm already in another 4 or 5 trades. Okay, we didn't print a red dot even on the 15 minute. Let's look at the hourly. We had a red dot over here, but the EMAs haven't crossed yet. But on the 15, the EMAs crossed. 4 hourly, still didn't cross. Do we have any divergences? Divergence indicator. It's basically the RSI, which paints the divergences, but I like to look at the chart before because this indicator is a bit delayed, I believe. Let's look at the line chart. Any divergences over here? We had a hidden bullish divergence on the 29th, which helped us move up. But this is barely a bullish move up. If you look at it just today, maybe we had a slight move up. This is on the 4 hourly. On the daily, how does it look? Nothing interesting. Hourly. So you see this on the hourly. If you look at this on the hourly, you had a higher high on the 30th, which was today. This is on the hourly. And then you had over here, was this a lower high? Let's see. No, it was a higher high also. Let's look at the indication, 66.55. Okay, so we didn't have bearish divergence over here. However, it pulled us down a bit. I think the markets are not looking good. As I told you, the markets are closed. Markets will be back full swing on the 4th. 3rd and 4th are going to be interesting day. 4th mainly and 5th. Level of resistance for Litecoin is 73.3. At the moment, the high is around 70. But these highs, we have wicks. If we go to the normal chart, you'll notice some wicks. Those are levels to look for. We had this wick over here at around $72. To be exact, 72, yeah, 72 exact on Litecoin. So if you get up there and you get rejected, then most probably you're continuing lower. This is, I would call it a Bart Simpson pattern, blow off top on a smaller time frame. Usually is not a good indication. But we have hidden bullish because we had lower lows and we had higher lows over here, which may push us up. This was today. This was yesterday, 29th. Let's see how much juice it has to go up. Quant on the 15 minute is still stuck there. I'm still in the trade. Let's look how it plays out. If it pulls down, that would be great. What I'm trying to do here in Quant, I don't know if it's going to be a swing trade. It might be just a scalp because it's a weekend. I don't advise on trading on the weekend. Even if you have trades, preferably you close them on the weekend unless your stops are very far away or in profit, then you can guarantee a trade that you're not going to lose anything. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be kind and subscribe. If you like the TA, just hit the likes. You can join the Discord, the free Discord. You get alerts on my videos, and we're trying to build a community over there, a positive community where we could help each other trade these markets in these bear times. And maybe we'll open a trading signals group once we're big enough. This on quant, this candle, the spinning top at the bottom exactly at support is not a good, I mean, it's an indication of a further move up. So taking a short now, as I did, is not advisable. However, I'm taking it due to the overall market conditions. I'm thinking we might go lower, but this is a strong support. You can see over here once, twice, over here 3 times. And what if we go back in history? What is this level? Any confluence in this level at the 101? Yeah, I see something in quant. Let me just point this out. We have lower highs on price action if you go from here, and we have higher highs on RSI. However, we've seen this in quant before and it didn't play out. This is hidden bullish divergence, continuation of the downtrend, but we've seen it before. If you guys remember, maybe about in November we had that and we pumped significantly, only after that to drop. So 101, if we go back, the 101 zone over here, let's go further. If we're gonna get some data over here in this chart, and let's turn off this indicator, the 101 zone, I'm gonna extend this to the right. Let's extend it to the left, sorry. Can I extend it? No, because it's a ray. I'm gonna put a horizontal line at the 101. There you go. You can see it's significant support even from the past. You can see over here support, over here support, resistance, support, support. It will take so much from the bears just to break this level. We've already tested it several times, so we might be able to break it if we continue. However, it's a good point of support and we're not far from there at the moment. Actually, we are far, but I mean, we weren't far early on. Yeah, so that's for quant, Solana. Any coin you want me to do some TA on, just throw it in the chat. Or if any other indices, just let me know. Markets in general today did not close green. I mean, this is red, but not that much. Minus 31 points. The US 100 minus actually plus 13.8 points. The SPY was down minus 0.2%, and the SPX minus 0.25. So the markets are indecisive. We're not red or green. We haven't. Usually, if you're above 2%, I believe, then you're basically in accumulation. If you're below, you're -2, then you are in distribution. And the markets didn't do much. Let's look, what did they do? The Dow Jones tried to move up today. Let's look in the 4-hourly. Yeah, this was today. We had some range over here, starting to look like a triangle that wants to break down. Not very promising from the Dow Jones. The US 100, the Nasdaq, is in sort of a falling channel. It could break up. You could see over here it was trying to. The markets are closed anyways. The SPY is still trying to claim that 385 point. If it can, then that's good news for the SPY. At the moment, it cannot get above it. Chile's is still there at 0.1. We haven't been able to come back up to reclaim the 0.15 ever since we broke out of it on the 11th of December. We're just going lower and lower. We are at a level of support that was there since July 2022. So basically, we're trying to go back to our June lows when Bitcoin went down to 17K. This would be around 16, 18 June. Oh, this is May. This is June. This is our June low. Yeah, so we're trying to go back to the June lows. But we are at significant support for Chilis. So a lot of these things are at support at the moment. Most of the coins. All right, that's all I have for Bitcoin. Just one more thing for the market, sorry. Chilis is forming, if you look at it from here to here, lower highs on price action, higher highs on RSI. So depending how the 4-hourly closes in 41 minutes, you might be painting hidden bearish divergence again. But I don't see this level breaking so easily. It's a weekend, so you really need some push to go down. Anyways, anything can happen the weekend. Bitcoin can go below 16.3 again. We'll see what happens. That's all I have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. More trades. I'm out.